So it's here. March Badness is upon us. We're starting that. So to offset the roughness we're gonna go through, we're gonna and since we haven't done this yet, I wanted to go over what were some of our favorites from the last year.
Yes.
I guess before we get, did you have anything for like other? I think I put like any like other media. Was there anything?
What shows came out in 2025? I don't. This was a long ass year. Was the rehearsal season 2 in 2025? I think it was.
Was it?
I think it
was. Oh my god, I don't have that on my list.
Whoa.
No, I mean, I completely forgot about it. I
don't know if I necessarily have like a top 5 that I could rattle off, but I mean, Pluribus probably could be like my number 1 show of the year.
Maybe.
I love my boy Vince G. He seems to really know how to craft a TV show and craft like a good story and also have like incredibly interesting and engaging visuals with it.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was like some discourse online about people saying that Pluribus was like too slow, or it didn't spend enough time trying to answer like the central conceit of the show. Like I know people were mad that they didn't try to explain the phenomenon that made everyone a hive mind, and it's like, well, it's almost like that's the backdrop to a story about Carol.
Wait, they didn't explain it? People didn't like they didn't explain it?
They want information just like dumped on them. They're like, okay, yeah, all this is happening, but why did the aliens happen? Why did this virus happen? They want to know that stuff.
That's wild. I feel like you got everything.
The lore.
I got everything I needed to know out of the first episode. Like I don't need to know anything more about the aliens. Like I get it. Okay, there was a prolonged thing where you saw them like receive the signal from outer space and then like translated or whatever into like
and then everyone started like swabbing their mouths and like basically mass infecting everybody.
What do you need to know?
But then also like as the show goes on, you learn little details about them through Carol. It's like you are, as an audience member, you are like, you're inquisitive through Carol, and like you learn as she goes, and there are certain things that are revealed during the course of the show that are like, oh shit, okay. Like, so it's still giving you information about the collective, but I don't know. I think people just want to see like an alien on a spaceship saying, aha, our plan is going swimmingly. This is exactly what we wanted to happen. I am an alien. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, that's not what the show's about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's weird.
Chair Company, the studio.
Chair Company's on mine for sure. Did you finish Chair Company?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, I did.
Okay. Okay.
I'm along for the ride, whatever it is and wherever it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, that one would for sure be on mine. I right now, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to reassess now that I remembered the rehearsal. Because that could be my top one. I don't know. But right now, I know it's a cliche pick, but it's a really good show. I have Adolescence as my favorite one right now.
Oh yeah, that won a bunch of Golden Globes too.
It did, yeah. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's super popular. Everybody knows about it, but it's good. It is really good. It's a really good show. Really compelling and really, it's 4 episodes and it's like pretty easy to just like watch that in one sitting, like just as like a long movie. Common Side Effects.
I was literally about to say Common Side Effects.
Common Side Effects is great. Black Mirror season was really good. That could be up there. It was best season since like 3 at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was like an episode or 2 that was kind of like but overall it was pretty great. Like a good kind of return to form.
things that I wish were better. Severance season 2.
Okay, I still haven't watched it, and based on everything I've heard, I'm like debating whether I should keep watching it.
It's crazy that the first season of that show was like nearly impeccable, I would say. Like, I think the way that it did it kind of has like Stranger Things syndrome to me, where like you could have ended Stranger Things after like the first season and I would have been totally happy. I think with Severance season 1, I think you could have left off where it leaves off, and then it's a thought experiment after that. Like, man, what would happen if Mark did this, or now that he knows what he knows? Like, you could almost just be like, I'm not getting full closure, but like I can think about it, and like it gives you enough to chew on. And then season 2 just sort of over explains itself a little bit too much. You start to get more of like, again, the exact opposite with Pluribus. If it had taken, because I feel like the first season of Severance sort of took a Pluribus approach, where it's like you don't know necessarily every single little element of Lumen and what they do, but you learn through the characters and like how they interact with the world, that you get these little bites and little bits of information about it. And then season 2 just kind of info dumps a lot, and it feels different. I don't know. I think there might have been some shakeups in the writers' room. I want to say that I think the first season team of writers didn't come back for the second season, so like maybe that's why it feels a little different. But yeah, I mean, it ends in an interesting way that's gonna get me to keep watching. But there were definitely some episodes halfway through where I'm like, storylines would just be introduced and then disappear, and like stuff from the first season would show up, and then it would sort of have like a half-assed conclusion that was not satisfying at all, especially regarding like Christopher Walken and
Turturro,
John Turturro. Yeah. That felt really unsatisfying where they left that, or I don't know if they're going to do more with it, so wish it was better.
Yeah, that's too bad. And Stranger Things, speaking of things that
still haven't finished it. I still haven't finished it. I think we have 2 episodes left of it, but like we have not felt inspired to return to it in some time. So, maybe I'll get to live in a world where I didn't experience the finale like everyone else did.
Yeah.
There'll always be another episode waiting for me, unlike the people that thought there was going to be a secret episode 9 drop.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, the finale's not like, it's not exceptionally worse than the rest of the season, so it's not like, Yeah. It might be better than most of the rest of the season, actually, but it was just so like, the whole season was just so that it just kind of, I think the whole season being weak kind of made the finale worse. But the finale was not great anyway. Yeah. We'll run through just quick shout outs to Death by Lightning was another really good. That was pretty short. I might have been 4 episodes too. It was about it's about President Garfield. Or I'm sorry, Garfield. Like how he became president and then his assassination. So you follow him and the guy that assassinated him, who is Garfield is played by Michael Shannon, who I really like. And then I feel like they say his name a million times, the assassin's name. But he's played by Matthew McFadden. And I really like him too.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's he's very like, he's great actually. He's really good in that show. They're all really good, but I'd recommend that one too. It was really good.
Real quick, the last and the final season of The Righteous Gemstones came out in 2025. The first episode of that is really, really good. They do like a Civil War period piece to like set up the rest of the season, and it is tonally very, very different. It has Bradley Cooper in it. He plays like a 4 or 5 previous generation gemstone before the family of like John Goodman and like Danny McBride and all them. And it has to do with like a golden Bible that's like a family heirloom type deal. But the prelude is like weirdly like,
is it like really serious?
Good. I mean, it still has that sort of humor, like the Danny McBride humor sprinkled in, but like in terms of like set design and like that muddiness of like springtime in the South, and it's just like there's just people in beds like missing limbs and like crying out in pain from like the Civil War type shit. It's really good. And then, you know, it's the rest of the season is fine. Like I'm not going to be like it's like change your life television. But over the last couple of years, I've just become a huge fan of Danny McBride and anything that he does. After watching Eastbound and Down, and like some of the movies that he's been in, like Hot Rod and Tropic Thunder. He's just a funny guy. That the way that he like writes characters, he has a certain phrasing that I really like. So you know, now you can binge The Righteous Gemstones if you want. You don't have to wait for another season. It's done. It's like a full package. And I think it ends pretty good. Walton Goggins is also in it as Uncle Baby Billy, who's one of the craziest characters I've ever seen. So there's that. And then he's also in The White Lotus, which I think was also last year, which that season I liked. I just good, like that show in general, even though you know it's not like it's prestige slop TV. I would say.
Yeah, that's
it's like to put it. Yeah.
Okay. Any games or music? I don't know if I listen to any new music. I feel like maybe I did. I don't know.
I don't even know what came out in 2025. I'm so behind on like current gaming. It's so weird because like I used to know when music came out, there would be like new releases, and now I'm like so bad at it. I listen to podcasts. That's pretty much all I listen to these days. So it's like music is like something that I do occasionally in the car. But there's not really been like an album that came out. Not really.
28 years later, soundtrack or score.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've listened to the Marty Supreme soundtrack a good amount. So
when Spotify Wrapped did a like your most listened to album for this last year, and mine was the Challengers remix album by Boys Noise. That's where a lot of my new music comes from. Is just movies.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I think like my number one artist either last year or the year before was Sea Power, and that's the band that did all the music for Disco Elysium. They're like a band outside of Disco Elysium, so like I found all of their albums and like I was listening to those as well. But yeah, in terms of like new artists, new music,
unless it's like an artist that I already listened to that releases an album in a particular year. And this year like, I got a double with Charlie XCX doing the Wuthering Heights music. So you know, it kind of, if it's both.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
we saw that. We saw Wuthering Heights, so we can. If you're gonna go see it, maybe we can save it for a future episode. I don't know if we'll have enough. You're not.
No. Kalia saw it this weekend when I was working. So.
Oh, okay. So
she would have been the only reason that I would have seen it.
Oh, okay. Did Blueprints come out in 2025?
Blueprints?
The game.
Blueprints. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Okay, that game came out in 2025. I liked that game. I beat it on stream, actually. Oh. It's a roguelike. Roguelite? I think it's roguelike.
I feel like it's interchangeable.
Those
I
words,
hear people
they
use
really
both.
also, those words mean nothing to me. I don't. I've had it's people explain to me what it means, and it goes in one ear and out the other, and the next day I'm like, yeah, but what is a rogue? What is a roguelike? What is that?
I think
But
you just
it's
gotta play a few of them and then you're like, oh, okay, you get the tropes.
Yeah,
And
it's like sort of procedurally generated, where basically you're trying to get to a room at the end of the map,
right.
And every door you go through, you get a set of 3 different possible rooms that you can build. So it's like, and each room has like a different attribute. Like green rooms are like greenhouses, and there are holes that you can like use a shovel to dig up spots, and you can get coins or keys or gems, and you use those to progress through different rooms. And like red rooms are rooms that cost a lot to use, like they're kind of like negative rooms. But it can be really fun, but also really frustrating, especially if you just draw dog shit rooms the entire time, because you can get locked out. So it's like you can basically draw like 10 rooms, and then you can't progress any further. So then you call it a day, and then the next morning you have to draw entirely new blueprints of the house. There are like overarching things that you can do to like change. Like you can unlock rooms outside of the grounds that you can go to that'll give you some sort of benefit, or like, you know, you can find you can add to your daily allowance, which means you start with like 20 coins instead of 0, or you start with 2 keys instead of 0.
Yeah.
So there's like these sort of global changes you can make to the game. But whenever you go to go through
that's
like
very
rooms,
roguelike-y.
okay, well then yes.
Yeah.
But like the music and the like, it kind of has that cell shaded graphic style too. So it's like aesthetically, it's a very cool game, very vibey, very cool art design, very cool music. Just plan on a few attempts and maybe getting frustrated when you just constantly get locked out and you just get dog shit draws.
Yeah.
But it's a cool game. That is a game that came out in 2025 that I played. It's the only one.
No, you played at least 2 more, because we have, or no, well, 3. I'm looking at my unbacklogged, because you can sort by release date there, so that's how I tell. Because otherwise, I would have no idea when like any games I play came out. But the most recent game that I played is Pips, the New York Times game Pips.
Oh. Yeah, I'm a big Pips head.
And then Loan Shark, which I know you got too.
Oh yeah. I guess
and
that's
Headliners. Headliners.
Oh, the friend slop games. Yeah, I played a good amount of friend slop games.
Yeah. Yeah, those, and then mostly just like free games. I think those were the only ones. The only one that I actually paid for was Headliners, I think. But out of those few random games, no like major AAA titles that I played, my favorite game from last year was Stimulation Clicker, which I think I shared in the group chat once. I don't know if you played it at all.
No.
But God, it's great. It killed me the first time I played it. It's like, so it's a clicker game, like a cookie clicker game, you know. But it's like you start, and I think you start, and there's just a thing that's like click for stimulation. And then it's like a lot of them where it's like, you know, like how Cookie Clicker works, or how a lot of the clicker games work, is like you click, and then, you know, you see the number go up, and then that allows you to buy other things. And usually the other things automate the number generation for you. So, you know, you click and you get your stimulation, and then you buy something else, and that will do a thing, or it'll like auto click, so it clicks it for you, and then you can go do other stuff.
I'm sorry, I'm playing it.
Oh, you're doing it now?
I got
Yeah, it gets insane. And but the cool thing is that you can finish it in like half an hour, 45 minutes or something like that. So yeah, if you have like a spare hour or whatever, I highly recommend Stimulation Clicker. It's very stupid.
All right, I gotta leave this page.
But yeah, it gets fucking crazy, where it's just like pop-ups, like all these like and
it's like brain rot. It's just brain rot.
Yeah. a lot of people, and like everything that you get will like play audio. So you'll have Subway Surfers, and then like there's like an ASMR video, and then there's like a cooking video or something like that, or some other random ads that play, and they're all playing over each other. So you're hearing like 50 different audio tracks at once.
Oh my God.
And a lot of people puss out and they just turn the volume down. But when I played it, I had my headphones on and I did not turn the volume down at all. I was like, I need to do this full experience. But yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
So that's my favorite game from last year.
Nice.
Okay. Anyways, let's get to our movies then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you have a number one?
I do, yeah. You know,
Okay.
I still have my list of what I still need to see, and there's still like about 30 movies from last year that I still want to see. So, you know, this is not final, but as of now,
okay.
Yeah, well, I will see, we might have a couple of our last. My number 5 is Begonia. That's a most recent one. My most recent one.
Okay.
It was fun. Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
Good Yorgos. It's yeah, it was fun. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about that one, despite it being my number 5. It was just a lot of good acting. It was, if you know Yorgos Lanthimos, it's like one of his. Although I would say the characters themselves was probably like, obviously the characters themselves are not normal, but I did find myself like thinking like, oh, they're despite what they're talking about, like him saying like that she thinks she's an alien and all that stuff, they're speaking like people, like normal people. It's not like how his movies normally are, where they like usually characters in his movies don't speak like human beings. They speak very like oddly and kind of like Wes Anderson, how characters in his movies talk a certain way. So it still felt very much like one of his movies, just with like this the whole tone and and the way it was shot and everything.
Stavi just sounded like he was like on Come Town. Like he just,
pretty much.
That's like his mode of like delivering lines.
Yeah. And yeah, I think because I knew it was his movie, I knew like immediately how it was going to end.
Yeah.
So that made me kind of watch it, I think, in a different way than like if I didn't know. But yeah, that was good. I like that one.
Okay.
Good.
Oh man, if I had a number 5, it's kind of tough because like.
Oh yeah, if you don't have I mean, we don't have to, and I don't have to do like a spiel for everything.
Oh, like I have a top 5, I think. But I'm like scrolling. I sorted like my Letterboxd logs by like release date, and I'm looking, and I'm like, there's some heaters in here that it's hard for me to. I'll start top down. I think my favorite of 2025 is Marty Supreme. I think it goes Marty Supreme, and then One Battle After Another for me, and then probably Eddington, and then 28 Years Later, and then probably Sinners. Okay. And then in like underneath that is like Begonia, Weapons, Sentimental Value, which are all movies that I really liked. Like all of those that I just listed, I liked quite a bit. God, I forgot Mickey 17 came out in 2025. That one was fine. Yeah. Companion was fine. A lot of them had stuff that I liked. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I think if I watched that now, I think my rating would probably go down by like a star, if not more. But I think I was just so juiced up from like watching all of the Mission Impossible movies leading up to it that like seeing one of them in theaters and it being the concluding one was just like it was the, you know, spectacle in a theater effect where it probably garnered an extra star in my mind just because it was like the last one. If I watched it critically now, I'd probably be like, it's kind of messy. And I don't really give a shit about The Entity. I think that's probably one of the worst, like, Mission Impossible, like, bad guy things. It's so lame.
Yeah.
But it does give me the chance to say it like, is it Ving Rhames?
The like in the movie, yeah.
What I love
Vincent?
the way he says, Ethan, it's the entity. He says it in such a specific way that's how I say it whenever I do. It's the entity.
Okay, well, yeah, we should just run through them.
We got the Bye Bye Man to talk about. We got to go through this.
Yeah, no, I know. I figured this was going to be a longer opening anyways. It's fine. All right, I'll go that way. So yeah, Begonia's at my 5, and then I guess I'll start. So top for me is currently Twinless, which was that one that we just randomly had at the theater for a weekend, and I decided to check it out. Ended up loving it. Kind of a dramedy, just really amazing acting, amazing writing, and
it's got the guy from Send Help really in it, right?
Scenes. Yeah, yep, Dylan O'Brien.
Okay,
yep. And he's great in it. He's so good in the movie. 28 Years Later is my number 2, and then I have Bring Her Back, which is the Raka Raka, the follow up to Talk to Me. Which
I still need to see that.
I like Talk to Me. I love Bring Her Back.
Yeah,
that one just worked for me on just so much more. And then my number 4 is the War of the Worlds. I have that at my number 4 right now. Part of me wants to put that at number 1. I'm not sure. It's fucking awesome. This is a great
I can't
movie.
wait for that in your 2025 best movies of the year video.
I know. I keep thinking of like, how am I going to work that in? I was thinking of like, whenever it gets to that, I'm just gonna cut the music out and just do like a series of like fart noises to the movie. Yeah. Or yeah, so that's my 5. But
nice.
Again, could shift around. I don't know. I try to update this like as I watch the movies, but it's so hard for me to keep. This is why I hate like I've never had like a favorite movie, or like why I don't like doing like favorite movies is because like even just like doing one year, every time I look at the list or every time I do the videos, I'm like, I don't know, is this right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I kind of do. I like this one more than this. Whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like none of those are like completely 100% accurate or like how I feel now. But you know, yeah.
Yeah, my number 1 was Trainwreck, Poop Cruise, and then my number 2 was Trainwreck, Storm Area 51, and then my number 3 was Trainwreck, Mayor Rob Halford, and then
yeah, I'm not. Oh, shit, do I? No, I don't have to include those. I was like, do I have to include? No, I'm counting that as part of a TV series. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna count those.
Yeah, Evil Influencer, the Jodie Hildebrandt story. Like if I was including all of the true crime slop that I watch, like the Waco documentary, I just finished that one on Netflix. That one was pretty good. Titan, the Ocean Gate submersible disaster. That was one of them.
I have that one like marked down. It's not on my list, obviously.
Yeah,
that one was like better than the Trainwreck stuff. At least it was.
Yeah. There was like a Jim Downey documentary about like the stuff that he wrote on SNL and like his collaborations with Norm Macdonald. That was pretty good. There's a lot of like SNL retrospectives happening right now. Like I don't know, it's really
there's that
weird.
Movie. Maybe because the 50th anniversary was like last year.
There's like a new documentary coming out about Chevy Chase that apparently
he's
like a real dickhead, and he's like antagonistic towards the documentary filmmaker lady.
Yeah, well,
it's just like, oh yeah, that's right. You are a total like narcissistic dickhead.
Yeah, that's what he's known for. So I guess it works for a documentary. Yeah, I don't know how to wrap this up. 2025 was a year. It was a long year. Man, I can't believe some, like you said, like Mickey 17, Sinners, same year. It's like, it's because those are like so early in the year, but still, it's but now we say, I'm forcing a transition, saying Now we say bye-bye to 2025. We say bye-bye. Speaking of. Welcome back,
I'm thinking it and I'm saying it.
I'm thinking I'm saying it that I'm back. No. Yeah, welcome back to another episode of There Will Be Duds, ladies and gents. This is episode 203, and I am your co-host, TJ, and with me, as always,
I am Nick.
And, as I mentioned at the top, this is March Badness. We're doing a whole month of dud movies, dud-like movies, duddy or spuddies. And this first one, because I don't know if we addressed it in the last episode, but instead of doing cut polls, we decided to choose the movies to make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Maybe.
I don't know if I did. I don't know if it
worked. So Nick had the first pick, and he chose The Bye Bye Man from 2017, directed by Stacy Title. It is a horror movie about a group of young adults who, one of them reads the name, the Bye Bye Man, and there's other stuff that says not to think it or say it. So then, like, by knowing it, you're like cursed and you're like haunted by like these visions and hallucinations. They start to kind of turn on each other, not able to trust each other because they don't know what's real from not real. And they do, because they do think it and they do say it. I don't know, we could try, like, what I do it with the horror movies. I don't know if there's like, like, why'd you pick Bye Bye Man? It doesn't have to be a whole thing. Maybe you're just like, well, I mean, it was funny and I thought it'd be fun to watch. That's kind of how people.
As soon as you started describing it, I remember that there was a bit that I was gonna do, because I have like a zip up black hoodie. I was gonna like start the recording with like the hoodie covering part of my face, like the titular Bye Bye Man.
Yeah.
I picked this one because my brother and I watched it. I want to say like maybe a couple years after it came out. And I think even then it was notorious for being like bad. Like I just did not get like very good reviews when it came out initially. But I think from what I remember watching it with him, there were enough moments in it that I thought were like kind of that were funny enough to be, it's like a so bad it's good kind of movie. And really it was only one scene that I remember laughing really hard at, and it's the scene where he hits Mrs. Watkins with his car, and she's just standing in the middle of the road, and she just gets flung into a tree.
That was so weird.
It's so weird. But I just remember like my brother and I rewinding it and like laughing at it and like watching it over and over again, because it's just such a jarring thing to happen. So, I mean, kind of like Bedeviled, there was like one scene in Bedeviled that I remember being funny, and that's why I picked it. And then the rest of the movie was like total dog shit. I don't think this is as much of a slog as Bedeviled was.
No.
But the first half, I would say, was more of a slog, just like hearing the really cringy, like college-aged kid writing. It definitely suffers from that, where it's like the line delivery is so stiff and wooden.
Yeah.
I think even one of my notes, I was like, The Ungrateful Dead had better teens writing than like this movie did.
I wrote the same exact. Wait. No, wait. All of my notes just say "don't think and don't say it." I thought I wrote that down, but no, yeah. I said every conversation is the opening scene of Ungrateful Dead levels of like exposition dump. Yeah. That was where it really stuck out more than anything, was just like the writing was just fucking dog shit. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Where like there were other than that, there were where I was like, and I would agree, I didn't think it was like as much of a dud or like as bad of a movie as something like Bedeviled. Like, it's not a good movie by any means, but I was like, this isn't like the worst horror movie I've ever seen before. It's just very sloppily written.
Yes.
Where like if it wasn't so poorly written, I'm trying to think of not just say that word over and over again. It would like almost be, just like an okay horror slop movie. But it is bad. So it's not great. There's so much like, and not just the dialogue. It's like, there's so much like the curse is like kind of vague, but it also feels like it doesn't really like follow its own rules. And it's like, he makes you see stuff, or he makes you believe things that aren't real. And then, but also they're kind of like compelled to, I don't know. Like there's the revelation or whatever, the realization that the main character has, I think when he's in the police station maybe, or something, and he sees something, and he's like, you're not real, and then he like closes his eyes and opens it, and he's like, aha, I was right. Yeah. He was just tricking me, and he's like, that's how you do it. You just gotta know. And it's like, but then like they'll be presented with stuff that's like clearly like not real, and yet they're like, oh, what are you doing here? You're dead, or whatever.
Yes.
So then it's like, you just got to think, like, okay, so they're gone anyways. If they're believing this stuff, this isn't a question of like, oh, well, I thought that you were here with me, so I thought I was talking to you. It's like they're seeing dead people, or they're seeing things that like literally couldn't be there.
Right.
So the fact that they are believing those things, their minds are already gone or whatever.
Right.
And then you have the teacher or the librarian lady who like she gets exposed to it, and then like a couple hours later she's like killed her husband or her family, and so she just speed runs it. Like, why? Is it because she's a side character?
It's almost like she didn't need that much of a nudge to want to do that. Like, that was already on the forefront of her mind. She just needed a little push. Yeah.
And then Carrie Ann Moss is brought in later on, and she's like, you need to she's like, tell me what it is, and to where the movie has to end with oh no, he's the bye man's gonna come back. So she like runs up to the one guy who lived, and she's like, tell me, you have like, why does she need to know this so bad? Like, what's the point?
I think with these types of movies, I understand that they're supposed to be like dumb college kids, dumb teenagers. And so like they're not supposed to make the correct decision, right? I suspend a little bit of disbelief. I'm like, we're in a horror movie. Things have to keep moving along. Like, things have to escalate and get worse, or people need to die. So like the characters aren't going to be the most logical. It's like you're watching the movie and you're like, don't go down there. Don't go by yourself. Oh no, he's going by himself. Like that's always, it's like, if you're watching it and you're like, I would never do that. I would never go down to the basement by myself in the scary haunted house. But like the characters do that. And it's like, okay, well, this is a horror movie. You suspend belief. This is like, the characters are literally so stupid and poorly written that it defies even that bit of like belief suspension or disbelief suspension, where it's like, there's a point where like they all sort of like acknowledge that they're seeing things, that they acknowledge that like okay, the bye-bye man is after us and like he's trying to get us to like kill ourselves or our friends. But then it's like one of the characters will like hallucinate and like start, kind of freaking out. I think it's the scene when the main dude, the guy who could have been played by Jack Quaid but wasn't, Elliot, I think his name is.
Elliot, yeah.
He wakes up and he sees like the bad CGI hellhound in like that little cupboard.
Oh yeah.
Or like he sees he sees the reflection of the eyes in the cupboard and he's like freaking out. And then he wakes her up and she's like, Elliot, there's nothing there. It's like, but you all know that you're being tormented, right? Like you've kind of come to that conclusion that like a supernatural entity is coming after you. But it's like they'll still do that thing where they're just like, come on, man, you're just seeing things. Like you're crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you guys have already come to like an understanding that you're being haunted and you believe that you're being haunted. And then like they still have these moments where they're just like, there's nothing there, you moron. And it's
that's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Especially the friend. I feel like he's like basically until they all die. Like the friend is just like, well, nothing's going on. Nothing's happening. Nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and to that effect, there was a couple bits in particular, mainly with like Elliot seeing like, they established early on like that him and John, I think is the friend's name, have been like friends for life. They're closer and they like trust and then like, his Elliot's brother like brings up like, oh, good thing you're not jealous or whatever, and he sees the girlfriend and John like dancing together. He's like, no, I trust him. He's my brother or whatever. He's like my brother. And, but then like he says that, and they bought a house together. It's like the boyfriend, girlfriend, and then John also there.
No, they're renting the house from Mr. Daisy with a Z.
Oh, okay.
Who works at the greenhouse.
That's the guy that they go to. Yeah. Okay.
Who apparently was married to Stacy Title, and I think is like the screenwriter.
So he's the problem. Okay. But anyways, the instant he like sees them, he sees the like visions of them like fooling around or whatever. He's like instantly like, well, now I'm jealous. Now I hate this. Now like, and of course he believes all of it. Like and like to where there's one near the end where he comes home and he like walks in the room and he sees them like having sex, like they're like naked or whatever. But what's actually happening is that like she's having a seizure or she's just like freaking out and the other guy is just like trying to calm her down. That's what's really happening. But Elliot sees them having sex, so he hits John in the back of the head with a bat really hard and he's like knocked out. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, what? And he sees that they're, clothed. And then he realizes like, oh my God, I messed up. And it's like, oh, now you realize you messed up. But if they were cheating, you would have been cool potentially fucking killing him just like that, like at the drop of a hat because you thought they were cheating. Like it's only now that you realize that that's bad. Like, fight him. Sure. That's not cool.
Yeah. But like, he's just like, okay. Bop.
Yeah.
And that's also like after the revelation that he's like aware that the bye-bye man will show him stuff to like.
Yeah. This is very close to the end. Yeah.
I think it's literally after he drives back from the police station is like that scene plays next. So it's like he just had a moment where he's like, aha, Eureka. Like I know how the bye-bye man works.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? It's like maybe he like believed it would. Maybe it's something that he was like insecure about, and but like you said, he tried to kill him.
Yeah, but then also there's like the girlfriend is also she also has visions, of like John coming on to her too, or like There's one where that might have been the biggest chuckle that this movie got out of me. Just I don't know, the way that it was. Maybe it was the way that he delivered the line or the way that it was edited or whatever. But she's talking to Elliot in the kitchen, and then she like glances over at like the doorway, and John's standing there fully naked. Like it's only waist up, but you can tell that he's not wearing anything down there. And he just goes, "Come on." And then she's like, "No." She's like, "Elliot's right here. What are you doing?" Or something like that. And then it cuts back to him, and he just goes, "Fuck him." Like, I don't know. It's just the way that the pacing of that made me laugh. He's just like, or he's like, "Fuck that guy," or something like that.
Fuck him.
Just like that would work. Like,
yeah.
Who cares?
Who gives a shit, man? Don't be lame.
And also that she doesn't address like, why are you standing here in the kitchen fully nude? She's just like, oh, well, I would just randomly walk off and have sex with you right now, but Elliot's standing right here. That would be rude.
I was gonna say something else. Go ahead.
That raises the thing that like, because that one after she has that little vision or whatever, it cuts and Elliot's like, hey, oh, you went somewhere, implying that like she was just kind of. He said, I think he like says something to the effect of like that she was just standing there like staring, so she was spacing out essentially. But then other times that they have the visions, they're actually like
happening in real time.
Yeah, like the friend that gets hit by the train or whatever. Like she's actually moving.
Yeah.
It's just this is what I mean. There's so much like inconsistency with like how it works, and it's so like badly defined.
Because it's very clearly set up at the library when he like pulls the case file out, and he's looking at it, and he sees the Bye Man written on paper, and he's just like scratching it out with a pencil because I don't know if he thinks that'll kill him or get rid of it. I don't know. But it like very clearly he looks at his phone and it says like 1:29 p.m. And then he looks up and he sees the Bye Man sitting at like one of the tables all the way at the end. Then he looks down and crosses it out, and he looks up and he's one table closer. And then he looks down.
Yeah.
And then as he's like scratching out the name, Miss Watkins comes up to him, and like he looks at the clock and it's like 2:40, and he's like, basically he lost an hour essentially. So it's like it very, very clearly establishes like that like the Bye Man can mess with your sense of time. Like you'll lose time if you're not careful. And then other times, like you said, with the medium chick, she just runs in front of the train and gets splattered. Speaking of the train, that I don't know. Okay, so I do know some things. So this movie is based on a short story in a book of short stories by Robert Damon Schneck. He has a book called The President's Vampire, but there is a short story in that called The Bridge to Body Island that the Bye Man is based off of.
Oh.
And in that short story, from what I read, the Bye Man is like, he's like a guy from like 1912. He's like a train hopper type guy who like loses, I don't know if he gets attacked and like loses his eyes or loses his vision or something like that. But he essentially becomes like a Grim Reaper of sorts, and his dog is like his seeing eye dog to murder, essentially. Like that's like the lore behind it, which obviously in this, like they have the imagery of the train, but it's never fully explained. You're like, why is there a train at all? Because I thought it was like his parents died as a result of like a train crash, because there's like, when they're doing the seance, their friend, what's her name? Kim, I think is her name.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
She's kind of doing like the cold read where she's like, oh yeah, you lost someone close to you. And they're like, yeah, okay. Like anyone can do that type thing. And then at one point she's like, you lost both your parents. And he's like, oh, okay. Who told you? And then she says, in a crash. And then he looks at his girlfriend, and I feel bad for Cressida Bonus, which that is one of those names that sounds like the NES baseball game that's like Steve McDykel.
Yeah. I was just thinking that too.
Sasha, he looks at her and she's like, you know, I would never tell anyone that. And it's like that his parents died in a crash. Like, it's not like, I don't know.
A secret.
Yeah. I'm like, what? Yeah. It's not like I would never tell anyone that like your parents were like, I don't know, like murderous pedophiles or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that would be like, hey, let's like keep it on the down low. Just say they died in a crash or whatever. But it's just like something as innocuous or like common as dying in a crash. And she's like, you know, I would never tell anyone that. And it's like, why? Like, it doesn't, I don't know. It's just one of those little things where I'm like, that's not really like a high stakes sort of like thing you'd be embarrassed about.
Yeah.
But I feel like during that scene, it cuts to the train, and the train is going, and you see like personal belongings like kind of scattered off to the side. And I'm like, did Elliot's parents die in a train crash? Is that kind of why that motif keeps happening? Because it's like you got the bye-bye man, and in like the short story, he's like a hobo living on the train car. So you've kind of got that element. It just, I did not understand why it kept showing the train motif. It never really explained it at all. Because like even when the house is on fire at the end, like you see like the lights go by like a train is passing through the windows.
Oh wow. I'm
pretty sure, and I'm like, why does it keep showing this?
Huh.
That is a really strange decision.
Yeah, weird.
Like I can't even keep the mythology of like the central character. Because when John is in the classroom and he's looking on his phone, the bye-bye man is in a train car with the dog.
Oh yeah,
when he's like,
yeah.
When he's like
the
looking at photos,
photo or whatever. Yeah. Yep.
So I'm like, okay, so it kind of shows a little bit of that, but again, doesn't really do much.
Yeah. I forgot about some of that stuff. That's weird. That's another thing, kind of like the thing with the main character, where like the scene where Kim dies is right after she's like, he picks her up and they're talking in the car of like, yeah, we know how this works now. We know that he shows you things that aren't real and, you know, you can't tell anyone else or whatever. And then she sees the people on the side of the road and she's immediately like, stop the car. I got to go help him. And he's like yelling after her, like, they're not, you know, it's not real. It's just, it's fake. It's not there. Nobody's there or whatever. And she's like, they need our help. And it's like, but you just acknowledged that, you know, that he's telling you things are not, or he's showing you things that aren't real. And if Elliot is telling you it's not real, why wouldn't you believe him? Why wouldn't, like,
yeah,
I don't know. And then he like takes the hammer out and he's chasing her so that they can like set up the whole like murder subplot. It's like, cause the train conductor, as he was like, cause he's seeing, you know, he's like trying to wave her away. Like, so he's, his attention should be laser focused on her because he's like, oh fuck, somebody's in the train, in the tracks. I don't want to hit him. But yet he somehow also had the wherewithal to like notice the guy 100 or so feet down the road was holding a hammer.
That line delivery made me laugh too when the guy sticks his out and he's like, no! And then she gets smushed.
No! Yeah! Move! It's in your head!
There was a scene that reminded me of The Room. It might have been another floral scene when she goes to talk to Mr. Daisy, but I feel like there was another scene that sort of like had the sort of awkward pacing and staging of the floral shop scene from The Room, like when she goes to talk to Mr. Daisy. Like the dialogue is like just as weird and stilted as it was in The Room. Where she's like, hello, Mr. Daisy. She is really not a good actress. I'm sorry, Cressida Bonus. She's not very good. Like one of the, IMDb fun facts was that like test audiences laughed every single time that character said literally anything.
Wow.
But yeah, that scene in like the floral shop where she like tells him, like, she's like, "You have a weird house, Mr. Daisy." And then she's like, it's like, "Oh, it's really cold." She's like, "Actually, it's hot because you're in a greenhouse." Like it's just so strange.
Yeah.
"You're my favorite customer." Like it feels like it could be from The Room.
Oh yeah, the two handsome guys. Are you with them?
You have a weird house, Mr. Daisy. Really, it's awful.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but they did sign a lease. Bless you.
Sorry.
You okay?
It's really cold in here.
It's a hot house. It's actually not cold at all, honey. Maybe you should be home in bed.
The color in this movie was really bad. The opening shot, like it was basically like a laugh line for me, was on the opening shot, says like 1969 Madison, Wisconsin, and it just looked like a normal modern house.
Oh,
like it looked like super duper like blown out and washed out, and I'm like, is this supposed to make me think that it's like 1960s? And it's like, oh, he pulls up in like a classic car, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's how I know. But there were other moments where I'm like, I think it was like there's like a big establishing shot when they're walking around on like the college campus, and it just looks so bad. Like the color grading and the whole thing, it looked like the whites were basically like blue in spots. It was just like super inconsistent and then blown out. I did not like it at all. I did not clock Lee Winnell also as Larry.
Oh, yeah. I did it immediately. For some reason, he has like the most recognizable voice ever. So like I knew it was him even before, like, because the first shot is like he pulls up and he goes towards the door, so like you don't see his face. And I was like instantly, I knew who that was.
That's so funny. Did you say it?
that did make me laugh a little bit, but just because like I know that's like kind of a meme of this movie, and it's on the poster and everything. But like,
yeah.
After he like kills the people at the house and he's like walking away and he's just going, "Don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it." It's so dumb. It's very dumb. And then the other big name is Faye Dunaway. I thought maybe this was her punishment for the Oscars mishap, because this would have been like right after that. So like the timeline would have worked out.
What was her Oscars mishap?
She was the one who read the Moonlight La La Land thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That was her and Warren Beatty, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure how that went was like he opened it and he was like staring at the envelope. So I always took that as like Warren Beatty saw that and he was like, "Oh, this isn't the right envelope." But then she like takes it and she says La La Land, and then like La La Land to Bye Bye Man. That's what she gets. Oh no, I know. I was gonna say it's funny you mentioned specifically the like coloring being bad, like the look of it, because I didn't have that noted down, but I did have that the sound mixing was terrible. So I like that between the two of us we're like, it looks bad and it sounds bad.
Yeah.
Because I thought like I watched it on my computer and I was just like on the volume dial like every other scene. Because like there were like times where like, you know, where he's walking around the house at night and he's like, "Oh, I can hear him." He's saying, and it's so fucking quiet that like I could not hear.
Yeah. I had subtitles on, but I had my I watched that in the living room, so like I have like my, you know, I have like my 5.1 speakers like with an audio receiver. Like I have a pretty good like sound system to like watch movies on. And I could not. So like, there's a part where Elliot like walks downstairs. It's after like the big party, and you're supposed to hear John and Kim like having sex.
Yeah, I think this is one of the parts that I was
The subtitles said Kim moaning and then John moaning. I could not hear shit. I'm not complaining. I'm not like, oh, the scene would have really been, enhanced if I heard it. Like, but I was like, sound mixing, I think, is like one of the biggest things in horror, because that's like, it kind of guides you with like how you're supposed to feel. I'm talking about with like modern,
mood
slop horrors like this. Yeah. These are like, basic filmmaking things, Yeah. But yeah, like I was like looking at the subtitles. I was like, oh, okay. If I didn't have these subtitles on, I would not have picked up on that at all. But then obviously, like afterwards, they have an incredibly, over exposition, like, oh, so we had sex last night, haha. Like, just no subtlety at all about it.
Yeah.
But also, did the Bye Bye Man give him like limp dick? Because he's like, that's never happened to me before. She's like, yeah, same. I've never not made a guy come before, which I'm like, cool. I was like, did the Bye Bye Man do that? He like stuck his finger out and like his dick just went. That'd
be funny. That's how he really gets in your head.
He's like, that's how I last longer. Is like all I think about is the Bye Bye Man.
Oh, that's what you do it. Yeah, when you're trying not to like come, you gotta like.
It's like they say, think about baseball.
Like, yeah,
I'm thinking about the Bye Bye Man. Don't think it, don't spray it. You know what I'm saying?
These things happen, right?
Oh, actually, not to me. They don't.
Actually, not to me either. Guy not finishing up. I've never had that happen before. Come on. I'm hungry.
It seems like this can spread even if, I mean, really, Elliot didn't necessarily even know who he was. It's like, but just that like it can spread and like you don't, like what if like a little kid, like, because the Bye Bye Man sounds like a kid is like writing a little story for school or something like that. And they're like, oh, and the bad guy is called the Bye Bye Man. Like that's it's a total, like it could be. It's such a generic sounding name. Does that kid now have the Bye Bye Man curse?
He just shows up and he's like, sorry kid, them's the breaks.
Yeah. Because then there's like the tension or whatever in the final scene when Elliot kills himself is like his brother's trying to get in and he's like, oh, I can't say what he's like cupping his mouth like to try to stop him from saying it, and the brother's outside the door going like, but what did you say bye bye what? Like again, like people are so fixated on this thing that they don't know it. Like why would he be that fixated on the word bye bye?
Bye-bye what? What is that, Elliot? Bye-bye what?
But he's like, what did you say? Bye. And he's like, can't say it. So then it's like, so if the brother heard him just say the words Bye Bye Man through the door amongst all this, him like slamming on the door and all this yelling or whatever, then that's it. It's just like, if you hear those words in succession, Bye Bye Man, you could say
that on the phone. You could just be talking to somebody who's like, all right, bye-bye, man. They're like, does that count? Does that count?
It's like,
yeah, I feel like you need to give it like I don't know, like Pazuzu or like some sort of like really specific, like sort of demonic name. Yeah, not something that sounds like it could be a children's book.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like the Babadook. Like something like that. Which like this had some moments that reminded me of the Babadook quite a bit, with like the giant coat that was like hanging against the wall. I feel like they do the exact same trick where it's like she looks up and she sees the coat and she's like, okay, nothing there, and then she looks again and you can kind of see the outline of the monster in the coat, but you're not sure. But yeah, it really needed to have like a different name that didn't sound so like silly and childish.
Yeah,
because it's very stupid. Yes, but Speaking of that, the extremely short list of things that I did sort of like about this movie, and I guess there's mainly one. I think ever since I've watched Hill House and Bly Manor, I'm like trained in looking into like the corners of spaces in movies now. And there were a few like blink and you miss it spots where you could see like the Bye Bye Man. It was very subtle. There's one where like when the little girl walks upstairs and she like finds the coin, as she's walking upstairs into like their bedroom, you can see the Bye Bye Man in the mirror very briefly, but you can see him there.
Okay.
And then there's another instance.
That's
I think
cool.
I think it might be when Elliot goes down to listen to John and Kim have sex, but he like kind of walks downstairs and he walks through like the little kitchen area, and you can just barely like, I think you can see the Bye Bye Man reach out like this, like as he walks by. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. That's like, I'm like, I think this movie in the hands of like a Mike Flanagan could have been interesting. Like he could have easily like, made like fixed the script quite a bit. He probably could have made it more of like a, something like Oculus.
Yeah.
Because like Oculus is a good example of a movie that like messes with a character's perception of time and like kind of makes them do things because like they can't tell if like what they're seeing is real or not. So like I think if you'd gotten like Mike Flanagan to do something like this, it probably would have been like infinitely better.
Yeah. And Oculus is like a perfect example of a movie that like could have been an extremely generic or bad like horror movie.
Yes.
Because that was like, I remember when that came out, like I remember like seeing trailers for that like when it came out and just thinking that like it looked like the dumbest throwaway like horror
generic
movie that comes
horror
out every
movie,
other week. Yeah. And it wasn't until I watched Mike Flanagan's other stuff and realized that he did that I checked that out. And then you watch it and you're like, oh yeah, there's some really cool stuff, some cool Mike Flanagan camera trickery.
He has a style and a flair for like how he does horror movies that's more interesting than I guess most directors do.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I know she had done other movies before this. I wonder, was this Stacey Title's first horror movie though? Maybe.
No.
Oh no, it wasn't. Oh, okay.
Well, she did one called Let the Devil Wear Black in 1999.
Okay.
Crime thriller film co-written by her and her husband, Jonathan Penner, who plays the lead. That's interesting. Norman Reedus is in it, and
I see what, Jonathan Banks? No. Is that his name?
Yeah, that's Jonathan Banks. And Philip Baker Hall.
Wow.
What the hell?
Oh, it's Hamlet.
And it's got what's her face from Black Christmas? She was in the remake too.
Oh,
Phil.
Phyllis. I can't think of what her name is.
Andrea Martin.
Yeah. Name. Huh.
Chris Sarandon.
Mary Louise Parker.
All right, put this in the dud cup.
Yeah, maybe. Jacqueline Bisset too. No, this is
I'm really curious about that.
And then her
And
husband.
then Hood of Horror. No, she did Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror in 2006.
Huh.
And then this was her last movie, and then she died of ALS, which is very sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, I wonder if that's... Oh, no, it's not. I did see that she made a short film that was nominated for an Oscar. So.
Oh.
Yeah. That's something. But then, it looks like, most of her other stuff was horror. Interesting. Okay. Oh, what? That sounds awesome. Looks like her first movie, The Last Supper. A group of idealistic but frustrated liberals succumb to the temptation of murdering right-wing pundits for their political beliefs. That sounds sweet. That's from the mid-90s. Wow, that sounds cool. Cameron Diaz, Ron Perlman, Annabeth Gish, Courtney B. Vance, Bill Paxton. Wow. Mark Harmon. Wow, this one sounds really interesting. Anyways, getting off track. The reason that I asked that is because that since we were talking about like someone like Mike Flanagan, this totally had the energy of an older person who had never done a horror movie before. So I'm kind of surprised that that is what she did, basically.
Yeah.
Because there's a good stretch of this movie where, like, I guess, sure, like you're saying, there was like the hidden Bye-Bye Mans in some of the shots.
Well, they stopped doing it pretty much after those two. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I was watching to see if funny. Like they kind of would. I mean, I guess they kind of do it. I mean, no, well, that's not even hidden. Like it's kind of like It, like the newer It. Like I feel like they do that a couple times.
They have like the balloons or whatever.
Yeah, but like in the first It remake movie, there's like a scene where like the kid's at the library, and I feel like it does that, or at the very least, like
I think so.
Like,
well, there's
the librarian lady like looks up and does like the Pennywise smile at the kid, but I think there's even one where they're watching like an old film reel and like Pennywise shows up through it, and then it's just like the guy's looking at the phone and it's like the old timey reel, and it's like the Bye-Bye Man comes almost through the phone to get him. And then at the end when he's like, oh, well, if he lives off of our fear, maybe if we're not afraid of him, that's how we beat him. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's exactly what they do with like the monster in It.
I also thought
that
of that
plan
too.
is immediately abandoned and they just start killing each other.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a good chunk of this movie where it doesn't even feel like it's attempting to be scary, or like I was like, where are the scary scenes? Like, okay, there's like the scene where he goes in his room and there's like the coin, and like there's attempts at being creepy, I guess, but it felt utterly devoid of like, attempts at horror for a good deal of it.
Yeah. There's like the scene where he's like in the basement and he's like down there by himself, and you get the one thing where it's like you see someone walk by in the background and you kind of get that musical sting and you're like, oh, okay, they're trying. But then like, it's like that is like the first time anything scary happens in probably like 20 to 30 minutes in that. What else? Yeah, the lady getting hit by the car. That made me laugh. And I love that, like, after he hits her, she goes flying, and then when he finds her, she's, like, leaned up against the tree, and she's, like, still holding the knife. Like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do with that? Like, she's just, like, I feel like she looks up at him, and then literally does, like, and then she just falls over dead. Like, she lived just long enough for him to come and look at her, and then she just falls over and dies. The Bye-Bye Man has got to be, what's it sitting at on IMDb? Probably,
pretty
like...
far down.
4.3. That seems high.
On 4.3 on IMDb.
IMDb.
Oh,
I don't know.
Bye-Bye Man?
Yeah, that seems really high.
Yeah, dang, that's higher than movies that I've worked on, which isn't saying much.
Let's see, Rotten Tomatoes. That's a 19%. That's more.
That sounds Even that seems a little high for just for how like infamous this movie is.
Yeah.
Although I will say, this is something I noticed recently, is like, and something that bugs me, and it's just the nature of like, there's no way to really solve this, I don't think, but like, popularity is so key in like movies that are rated the highest, but like, The Godfather, like if you go on like IMDb, like the top ones are going to be like The Godfather or The Dark Knight or stuff like that.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, good movies. I'm not saying that, but they're also just like they're that way because they're the most popular, but that also applies to like the least popular, because I think on Letterboxd, I think War of the Worlds is the second lowest. But then the lowest is Dragon Ball Evolution. And I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, look, I'm a lifelong Dragon Ball Z fan or Dragon Ball fan. And I've seen the movie once, it sucks, but I'm like, but it's not the worst movie that's ever been made.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it is good by any means, but like really the whole first page, if you sort like all movies on Letterboxd by like lowest rating or whatever, like half of the titles on that first page are all like from famous franchises. You don't see any real nugs, any of those real like shitty nuggets that like really deserve to be there. It's just like, oh, well, people really hate, this isn't there, but I'm saying it just as an example, like people always hate on like Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare, which Nightmare on Elm Street, like 6. It's like, that's the bad one. That's the shitty Nightmare on Elm Street. So that's really, really poorly rated. But it's because it's a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. If it was just another horror movie not attached to Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm not saying it would be a great rated highly, but I think it gets hated on because it's part of a bigger thing.
Yeah.
It's just a little annoying.
Damn, Melania's like...
Oh,
Melania's
nice.
down there.
I hadn't looked at it yet, but yeah. Good.
Woof. You know what? It's really funny looking at this. The crossover of movies that we've done for duds. There's a good amount of them in this bottom.
I know.
2025.
Yes.
The Last Airbender.
Yes, that should be there. Yeah. I was gonna say I was pretty sure there was a Hellraiser movie on there. In my opinion, it's not even the worst Hellraiser movie. It's totally fine, but it's like stuff like that. Like that's part of like a franchise or just like a recognizable, notable thing. Like not necessarily a franchise, but like, what did I just see? What did I just see? Oh, Emoji Movie. Because that was like a big thing. Everybody's talking about the Emoji Movie. It's and then Inappropriate Comedy. That one's deserved.
Alone in the Dark.
That's on the bottom page. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see Disaster Movie too. Yeah. It's like, I'm not, yeah, a lot of these are, yeah, I mean, duds or not, for the show or not, I've seen way too many of these. I've seen so many of these.
I wonder why horror gets so singled out. Is it because they're like so dime a dozen easy to make in terms of like jump scares that it's like, because it's like, you know, people make all sorts of films. Like people make dramatic films, comedies or whatever, but for whatever reason, like horror seems to be like the number one thing that puts things at like the bottom of these lists.
It's just
because it's like they're so easy to make, I guess.
I think it is. It's just easy to make. Like you could make it's much easier to make like a horror movie with like a smaller cast, fewer locations.
Yeah.
A lot of horror movies, you know, depending on like what the conflict is or what the, you know, what you're going with, you can really restrict the need to like do much of anything, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. And they're easy to, you can put them up, and I think another thing is like they're really easy to like have an interesting sounding summary or synopsis or whatever. Like, you know, they're being stalked by they're cursed by this thing where you can't say the name, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe might not be the best example, but you know what I mean. You could read something and be like, oh, that could be fun. This sounds interesting. And then, you know, you put some jump scares in. People A lot of people like jump scares.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of those movies on like Amazon Prime or probably Tubi. There's probably a shitload on there, and it's just like, I mean, that's how I found out about Bad Ben, which is just some dude in New Jersey who bought a bunch of security cameras and put them up in his house, and then just walks around saying, "Oh, God damn it! Oh, Jesus Christ!" while he like pulls along some sort of like creepy doll on a string and tries to get you to not notice. Or like found footage movies. There's like a ton of those on Amazon Prime.
I mean, I know from experience, found footage movies are very easy to make. I like making them though too, because we've talked about it before. I like how like you can. It's really just like you can just go out and shoot. It's so easy.
Yeah.
I will say though, that did kind of remind me that there's something that like I kind of in a way appreciated about the Bye Bye Man. It's not this movie in particular's like. It's not just because it's this movie specifically, but it's that it's like it is pre like Tubi, Amazon, Pluto TV slop, where like I've seen a good amount of the more modern like slop that's on those like free streaming services, and like they all kind of they have the same feel. They all like, you know, you pick these like bottom of the barrel like Tubi movies, and they all kind of like they kind of like just look the same. They have the same vibe of shittiness. Like they're all varying levels of shitty, but they all just kind of like, they fit in this weird like modern mold. And like, it's nice to like watch an old one that like feels like the Bye Bye Man would be a Tubi movie if it was made nowadays. But it wasn't. Yeah. And like it came out in theaters. So like it feels like a Tubi movie, but it doesn't like look, or it doesn't, it still feels a little different at the same time. And I kind of like that.
There's a level of craft to it. Like there's like crane shots. Like, you know, like they do like rack focus type shots. Like they actually, there's like real cinematography involved. I mean, it's a bad movie, but I don't know. I think I might have brought this up when we watched 2025, but I think a lot of the stuff that you see now is made by people who, you know, watched a couple YouTube videos, went out and bought like a Sony FX3 and like a little rig and bought some like decent lenses, and then watched a couple YouTube videos on like how to get that cinematic look, which there's like there are so many YouTube videos about, which is just like extremely shallow depth of field. Spoiler, that's what those YouTube videos will tell you, is just super shallow depth of field for cinematic looks. That's probably like why there's been such an influx of like those like shitty Tubi movies. It's just like, you know, the barrier for entry has gotten so low, which I would say overall is like a net positive, because that allows anybody to make something, you know, good. You can make something that looks somewhat professional. Like, you know, the camera that we've used for a few of our things, like I would argue that like some of the footage that we shot for postmortem, like the Oppenheimer stuff that you and Andy did, looks like it looks good enough that, you know, it's like, I don't know, you could kind of argue that it, you know, it's like at that caliber of like something that you'd see on like a Tubi movie.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
But it's like, the Bye Bye Man was made, I don't know if it was like pre-COVID. I don't know. I just love to say that everything pre-COVID is like, that's kind of like a demarcation point. But the Bye Bye Man has actual like filmmaking and craft, and it's like you see some of the behind the scenes stuff, and it's like, they have like rigs. They have like, I don't know if they got like RE cameras, but like they have cinema cameras that like, you know, you rent.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of more what I mean, is like that it is annoying to like turn on, like it's funny because like when I'm still looking for like a bad movie when I watch these kinds of movies. If I'm like, you know, if I'm in the mood for like, oh, I want to watch like a shit you know, slop movie.
But
I still prefer the ones that feel more like movies. Whereas, yeah, like I guess that's kind of what I meant. What I was trying to get at before is like a lot of Tubi movies just feel like home movies, or like they should be on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah,
like somebody's YouTube channel. And I don't tend to like those ones as much as ones that are still shitty, but they feel more like real movies. Unless it's like The Book of Secrets, because that is totally like exactly what I'm talking about. Like that's basically just a home movie.
Yeah. Or like Ben and Arthur. Ben and Arthur, I feel like was shot on like consumer grade cameras.
Yeah, I don't know where that fits as far as like were they? I think they were like trying. Like I think that was made with the intention of like being put into theaters and stuff. It's just
yeah.
It wasn't happening. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Got anything else to say about this?
No, I think that's about all I've got. I was really kind of hoping we'd start out with something of a spud, but I don't think there was enough in it for me to really call it a spud. It's hardly a spudly dud either. There's like a few moments that are like, obviously the highlight for me was the lady getting hit by the car. It's so jarring and so just like almost unnecessary. There's like a few line deliveries that are really funny, especially from the Sasha character, where I think she's British, because sometimes I could hear like her British coming through like some of her lines. So that was kind of fun with like how bad she was as an actress, but otherwise, it was just kind of bad. It was just kind of duddy. So that's where I'm going. I'm going with a dud. I'm hoping your next pick will maybe pick things up a little bit, but we'll see. But yeah, that's a dud for me, dog. An honorable spud, mostly dud.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a dud for me. I sparse moments of funniness, but not as funny as you'd hope for. Mostly dull. But for a dud, it wasn't as like outside of the sputter dudness of it. We've watched much harder to get through duds, you know what I mean?
Like we talked about it last episode, but like last year's looking at that was like probably the roughest that we've ever done.
This is infinitely more watchable than like Going Overboard. way more watchable. All right, we both watched a new movie just came out.
Our boy.
Yeah, we just talked about it on the show too. Yeah. Sammy. Sam Raimi's new movie. Oh my god, this is shit. Send Help. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Was not like earth shattering or whatever. It wasn't like, it wasn't the best movies ever made or anything like that, but it was still just a joy to see, a new Raimi, and like that. Yeah, it felt like a Raimi. There's a lot of gross out stuff. Yeah, just like it had that over the top like campiness that like is like you don't see out of many people that aren't him. Yeah, it was just very, very cool, especially after doing the Evil, like rewatching the Evil Dead movies so recently, just kind of being more fresh on the Raimi love. It was a good time to see a new one from him.
Yeah, I think his first original movie, like I guess not like his first original in the sense that it wasn't like an IP of any type, since I would say Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah.
So that was all, and it was what was refreshing also was that it was rated R.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like so many horror movies now are just like rated PG-13 just because they want to get as many asses in seats as possible. Like the Bye Bye Man was rated PG-13. And like there were a few moments in that. Like there's like the scene where Lee Winnell shoots the one girl with a shotgun and she just like hits the wall back and falls down, and there's like no shotgun. There's no viscera, there's
like
no
spot,
gore, there's like nothing. And I'm like, did he like, it was so bad. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's PG-13. Or they're lazy, who knows. But yeah, there's plenty of like blood and guts and viscera in this. A lot of it, oh, poor Rachel McAdams. Like when the scene where like she pulls him back from like the raft and she's like trying to give him like chest resuscitations, but she's like throwing up on him constantly from like the poisoned he like tried to feed her like the poisoned berries or something.
Yeah.
So she's like saving his life, but also just throwing up into like his open mouth, basically.
Yeah, that was awesome.
A lot of that. There was a post that I saw earlier that was like the cockroach or like the bug that Dylan O'Brien eats at one point.
Oh yeah.
And so someone on the crew or somewhere was like, oh yeah, here's how we made the bug, and it actually had like chocolate and like vanilla cream in it. So it wasn't disgusting. Like it looked like a bug, but I guess what they actually made it with was like, you know, like edible things. And someone replied to it and was like, if Bruce Campbell was in the role, Sam would have just made him eat a bug. And I'm like, yeah, he would have.
Yeah. Did you see Bruce in the movie?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, spoilers for the movie. At the beginning, so Dylan O'Brien's character is like the son of like what are they? They're like some business. I don't even know if it matters. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I think it's implied that like Bruce Campbell is his dad, and his dad passed away. His dad had previously promised like the VP spot to Linda, played by Rachel McAdams, but his son takes over and gives it to one of his like dickhead frat bro college friends.
Dono.
Like, that's kind of like the resentment that's building up. But the spoilery part at the end, it's revealed that like there was like a luxury house built on this island that they landed on the entire time. Linda knew it and kept it from Dylan O'Brien. I was really hoping, and this probably would have been a terrible decision and would have made the movie worse, but I was really hoping for a scene where like they get to the house and Bruce Campbell was there. Like he like faked his own death or something like that.
Dang,
and like Dylan has to come to like terms with the fact that his dad faked his own death and he like sees him on this island. Just to get Bruce Campbell physically in the movie as opposed to just a portrait on the wall. Because as soon I did the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood thing when we were in the theater, I was like, there he is. There he is.
Yeah, I kind of did too. Yeah, I did that. I was like, oh, there's Bruce. And then I was like, oh, wait, that means he's not going to be in the movie.
Give us a flashback. Yeah. Give us something.
Yeah. No, that would have been good. Because then they could have like framed it, like just take it like make it go like way silly and have it be like the whole thing was like a test to see who was like really the most fit to like
to like
take
be
over.
the VP. Yeah.
And like because of all the stuff that she like ends up doing, like killing the fiance or whatever, he's like, yep, she gets the job. She's got the gumption.
She got the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Dang, that could have been really good.
The other moment where I did the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood thing was when she was fighting the wild boar, and he only did it for like a little bit, but he did the deadite cam in the jungle with like the wild boar's perspective.
Oh yeah. I didn't really think about that, but yeah.
I think it did the same sound effect too. Like when the boar was running around, I feel like they did the But I was like, oh, he did it. He did it for a second. He did the deadite cam.
And there basically is a Deadite in the movie when she or one of them. I don't remember
She's
who.
like
one of them has,
hallucinating.
yeah, and then like pops up behind her,
Yeah.
and it looks just like an Army of Darkness like Deadite.
Yep. Yeah, that was for us. Sam knew who it was for, and it's for us.
Yeah. I thought they were both great too.
Yeah.
Like they both did such a good job in their roles. They really like it still would have been good and fun and gross, but like I think they really do like elevate it and like make the whole movie like enjoyable. Whereas like if they weren't as strong as they were, this could have been a movie that was just like not that great, but then you see the little like Sam Raimi isms and stuff, and like that stuff would still be present, but all the there's plenty of stuff in between where there's not action happening, there's just like talking or whatever, and yeah, they both like nailed it. I love that like the whole like traditional like how you kind of think it's something like this would go as like eventually he's gonna see her worth. He's gonna like she saves him so many times. She's she's doing everything
Right.
Movies like this would go like, they start off hating each other. Like I'm thinking like a romantic comedy with like Sandra Bullock or something like that.
Yeah.
And, like they start off hating each other, but then they eventually start to see and like maybe not like fall in love, but then they'd be like, okay, now you're gonna be the VP. Now I see.
Yeah.
You're worth it or whatever. But like he just like no matter what she does, he just hates her. He can never get over how like disgusting he thinks she is. Even though like when she comes to the island, which was like I think like wholly intentional, she's like just gets hot. She's like, because I think it's like because she's like in her element now, so she's not like frizzy hair and or anything, kind of like scrawny or whatever. She's like. She's Rachel McAdams. She's
exactly. That's yes. I was like the only part of this movie that I didn't find convincing was that you're never gonna convince me that Rachel McAdams isn't hot. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But it's like
they're trying so hard at the beginning.
But she has like the big like beer bottle glasses on.
Yeah.
Like she's got like the little bit of tuna on her lip that like Dylan O'Brien just stares at.
Great. Yeah.
She's wearing like very like ill-fitting like frumpish kind of like sweater vests clothing. It's like, okay, I get what you're going for, but yeah, as soon as she's on the island I was like, yeah, well, that's Rachel McAdams, so like nice try.
Yeah, but it's still like nothing. Yeah, and they do play with it a little bit, but I think that was just for the misdirect or whatever. Like there's a part where she sees him without his shirt on. He's like standing in the water, and she doesn't get like hot and bothered, but she like stares at him for a little bit. She's kind of like eyeing him, and there's like another moment where like, but they really don't play it up too much, but I think they do it there to just kind of be like, oh, maybe like where they're in the cave and it's like rainy and they're like, oh, shouldn't we like get close, like body warmth to keep each other warm.
Yeah, and he initiates that too, so I was like, oh, is this but then that's like, I think that's all just like a setup for the ending where I don't remember. I think he says it first. I think he's like, oh, I know now that I love you. I love you so much. She's like, I love you too. But then they're just fucking with each other. Like neither of them are serious about it. Yeah.
Which I was glad. Like I didn't really think the movie was going to end. It's not like it was convincing me that it was going to end with both of them like, oh, now we're in love and we'll be rescued and whatever. But I was worried that there was going to be like a little bit of like truth to that, but I don't think that there was. I think it was just them both fucking with each other.
Yeah, you start to question her because I feel like at the beginning you're like, okay, yeah, she's the survivor. She's going to save both of them, etc. But then it's like halfway through, she sees the rescue boat and she's like, no, not yet. Mm-hmm. Like she's getting off on like keeping them alive, and like finally all of her like survival skills are being used, or she's like, no, we can't do this yet. We can't do this yet. Like, she needs him to be like fully dependent on her, and she needs to be the hero. And so then you're like, oh, she's kind of, she's not as, good as like I think maybe you think that she's gonna be, or like she's set up to be. And I think it makes her character more dynamic too.
Mm-hmm. I think for me at least, it made the basically the final act, I guess, basically everything from when she kills the fiance, because I think that's the bigger, or maybe even like the fake out castration scene, because that was like kind of extreme too. But at the same time, like it was kind of extreme just because it's like kind of a crazy thing to do. But on the other hand, it's like he poisoned you and he was like trying to escape, so he's really untrustworthy. So retaliation, sure, but anyways, I like that too because of that question of like, oh, is she that good, or like is she a good guy, or is she not so good? But I like that because that made me, for that ending part, I was like, I don't know which way they're gonna go. Like I could see them making him come out on top. Like either of them could win because they're both shitty in their own ways. And I like that. I like that I wasn't without that stuff, I would have just been like the whole time, oh well, she's obviously the good guy, she's the protagonist,
Mm-hmm.
But not afraid to make the hero a little shady. Although, I mean, the protagonists don't always end up winning in the end either, like Drag Me to Hell. Although she's kind of shitty too. But
yeah.
That ending is like so I just like it's so like drawn out, like her like getting dragged to hell. It's like it's so mean. The ending of that movie is so mean.
Yeah, like she literally turns into like a CGI skull as she's being sucked down in.
Yeah. Fun stuff. It's a solid 7 for me. I had a really good time with it.
Yeah, same.
Would easily watch again.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So now for next week's, it's my pick.
Yeah.
I really wasn't sure. I literally like just earlier today I was like, I need to actually decide on something. So I was just like scrolling through some of my various like watch lists, like challenge things, and I this one jumped out at me. I am I'm curious, but it's one I haven't seen, so I really don't know how this one's gonna pan out. So this is where I said that like I'm gonna go one pain, one pleasure. So I guess we'll see how this one goes. If this one's bad, I'll go with like my next pick will be something like that I've seen that I know. Yeah, a more safe bet. Yeah. This one I really don't know much about. So I'm going with a movie from 2018 directed by Richard Chamberlain, White Chocolate.
Oh, okay.
It's about an interracial romance. And that's why it's called White Chocolate.
Oh, good.
So watch White Chocolate before next week's episode if you don't want to be spoiled for it. These episodes come out on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. EST on YouTube in video form, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more in audio form. We also have social pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And with all that said, I'm gonna need the names and addresses of everybody who listened to this episode, because I'm going to have to kill every single one of you. I'm DJ. With me as always.
As always, our Spotify number, our year in review is gonna be back to 0 because everyone's dead. As always, I'm thinking I'm saying it. I am the bye man, and I'm Nick.
Bye bye,
man.
Bye-bye, man.